3, 2, 1. We are on. What's up,
We're on?
everybody?
Hello.
How do,
Hey.
friends?
We're doing
Doing
well.
all right.
Awesome.
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
BitConnect for the Easter egg. Gentlemen, ladies, individuals, welcome back to our Company of Heroes round robin tournament, 1v1 tournament. We have tonight Jake versus Tim. This is going to be an interesting match. This was going to be a tight match. Jake is still probably our all-around hero on top of the round robin tournament, but Tim has proven to be a tasty underdog before. He has bitten back the pros on multiple occasions. Andrew was a surprising clean by Tim. Wasn't expecting that. So Tim does have some cards to play, so we will see how this goes. They are starting up the game. Tonight we have Weston. Would you care to shout out?
Hi,
Weston.
I'm Weston.
Yep, that is him. We have Nathan. We have Cam.
Introduction.
We have some various individuals. We have Rebecca, who is not at all biased in any way as to the terms of this game.
Although I think if Tim were to bring his A game and if Jake makes a mistake, Tim could pull a win out.
Yeah, I think he could. I am not by any means.
I'm just gonna check real quick. Rebecca, have they actually started their game yet?
No, I think Tim is talking and Jake are talking, and I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
who's hosting.
Okay.
Okay, Tim's the one who's hosting because the reason the rules of the tournament is that the one who has the lowest score is the one who hosts and gets to choose the map. So they have a little bit more of advantage if they like a map that they like to play on. It gives them a little bit more of an edge against someone who has a higher scoring.
Like, I thought I heard Jake say something to Tim about you can start now, and
Okay.
no starty.
I'm sure it'll take a minute.
Yep.
But you also read Jake a message. I wanted to make sure that they did set observer time to 0.
Jake, make sure the observed delays is 0.
So,
Okay.
getting back to what we were talking about earlier, I think this will be a pretty good game.
Just say no.
Because like we were talking earlier, Jake's definitely up there, but Tim has he's done some pretty good things. I mean, the first game that we streamed was me and Tim, and Tim did a pretty good job, fighting against me, and
Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah, you remember that. And like the thing that I want to see with Tim today is I want to see his signature really good like grenade throws. That's what I want to see. I also want to see some better tank diversity towards the late game. Lately, he's been kind of just building Shermans and not much in the way of Jacksons. But I'll also like to see an AA half track to be deployed because that's really been carrying the USF faction in the early mid game.
Yeah, it has. That's true. Those nasty little half tracks are miserable, and the Russians have a half decent one too. That's not at all to be laughed at.
Yeah, the problem with that one is that it. So here's actually a fun fact about the half track. If you ever find yourself needing to have a forward deployment, the half track. The thing that I see a lot of us Soviet players do is that you build a half track and you immediately build the AA gun on it, right? Well, that actually strips away a special little thing about the half track because you can actually use it as a forward reinforcement point. Your
really?
guys,
That takes that away.
So your guys can't retreat to it, but if you have guys who are, your squads, let's say you have the conscripts and they're at half squad, you can put them up to a half track that doesn't have the upgrade, and they actually can reinforce there.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's something special that you don't see too often. And of course,
get going? Are we?
I don't know. I'm trying to fill in with like little facts.
If it helps, I can
don't know.
cut. I can just cut.
Don't cut out that fact though.
No, I won't. That's a good.
It's fighting. It's loading. I just.
There it is.
Oh, it's loading?
All
Okay.
right, we are watching the game. Here we go. This will be good times.
Yeah, it will be good times.
I didn't know that about the half tracks though. That is interesting.
Yeah, so the problem is, of course, is like you can't use it as a forward retreat point. But and I think a lot of people who do use the half track, they pretty much just build the AA part.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't see a lot of the half track in the tournament games that I've been watching. It's mostly just been they build like the tier 1 or tier 2 building, and when they get to tier 3, they build the T70 from the get go. Because I mean, the T70 is pretty awesome.
It is. Yeah, that is. I continually underestimate that myself. It is. It can decimate entire squads. It takes it about 12 seconds to run down a full squad. So if you're not watching, it will eat your squads.
Yeah, and it's and that thing's pretty speedy. It gets like vehicles, since they have that bonus on roads.
Yeah.
The T70 really gets a huge bonus out of that because it's just so fast.
It is. It is. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's. But it looks like Tim is going American.
Well, it's his strongest suit. That's the move he should make for sure.
Yep, and Jake is going with the Soviets.
Which he's secondarily familiar with them. His specialty is but we banned them, I guess. Technically,
Yeah.
As a general statement, PSA, we did ban Oberkommando for this tournament because at the time of this tournament's implementation, there was a patch coming out that we were not sure how it was going to affect the performance of the OKW, and in fact give them a pretty hefty buff, if I'm not mistaken.
At the time his tournament started, I thought they were like OP.
They were OP.
Getting ready
to
to be nerfed.
All right, so here we go. It's exciting time.
All right,
exciting time.
I am speeding up to a current moment because they are a little bit ahead of us.
Yep, that's fine. This map's interesting.
All right, so you already see. We'll see their capturing methods. Jake is immediately sending out 2 squads. He has not built anything in his base. Interesting play.
No. So what Jake's going to do is that he's basically going with a conscript opening, mostly conscripts, and he doesn't really need to build any of the tier 1 or tier 2 buildings yet. He's probably going to get 3 to 4 conscripts out, and then he'll worry about building a tier building.
Yeah. Tim, it looks like, is not even going to go for a star yet. Oh, no, he is. He's charging the center star.
Yes. He's sending a rifleman.
Jake has clearly got bottom star.
Correct. I will say that Tim does something a little different. Oh, first exchange of fire. We have the rear echelons versus the conscripts.
We already know there's nothing Tim can do to really win that fight. I mean...
Not really. He should just...
Yeah.
I mean, he can kind of, if he wants to, he can keep the rear echelon there to kind of
just skirt, harass.
Yeah, harass a little bit for the riflemen to come up, but
yeah, the conscripts are they're frontline infantrymen. Now the riflemen versus conscripts might be a fairer fight.
Yes, that's a bit more fair.
Well, now that they're in cover, we shall see. So this contest at 2 different flags.
Yeah, so on the west side there was the rear echelon versus the engineers, and the Soviet engineers they are really not great at all at combat. They're like one of the worst like foot soldiers as far as I know. Unless you get like the flamethrower upgrade, then they're okay.
It is worth pointing out that Tim is taking an early lead. It's a small lead, but it is an early lead.
It's a small one. Yep.
But a 3-star lead will if Jake doesn't take control and he doesn't have any stars, he will bleed terribly. Like, it'll hurt late game.
Yeah.
You need to pick that up.
So it looks like, alright, so that's cool. So I will say that Tim does something a little different with his opening build. Usually, American players, at least how I play them recently, is I don't build a second rear echelon. I just focus on doing riflemen. Oh, okay, okay, yeah, he'll be able to get that out in time.
Yeah. That was a little close call.
Yep. And there's also...
Sorry, go ahead.
So I was going to say that the rear echelon troops to the east need to get out of there. There might be a wipe, maybe, if they get a lucky shot. Nope. All right. So no wipes. No wipes yet. Close.
So far, Tim is performing very well. See, look at the bleed. He's already below 50 points. Jake is.
Yep.
Jake is going to have to push hard to come back.
Yep.
Or I mean, he won't have to push hard, but he's got to kick it into gear right now if he wants to not slip. Go ahead, Rebecca. Sorry.
Because it looks like Jake's retaking center.
Yeah. He's going to try and take...
another one's trying to go down too, it looks like.
Let's see. So Tim went ahead and did the grenades in the weapon rack. I think that's a little early. I think he should... I definitely think he should have just saved for the lieutenant, but you know, it still works. It can still work.
Oh, Jay's gonna try and get a grenade off in the church.
No,
but Tim caught it.
Yep, Tim immediately got outside, and
good call.
You know, that was nice. That was really good.
He's going back to recapture his flag, and he can do that because Jake has no more units in the area. Well,
there is a conscript squad that will come over, but I don't think that conscript gun is going to do much.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's see, what is Jake building? He's building the support weapons. So that's the, I believe that's the tier 2. Yes, the tier 2. So for those who don't play Soviets, this allows them to build their Zis gun, their mortar crew, and their heavy machine guns.
Wow, this is interesting. I am impressed so far. I did not think Tim was going to do this well, and he hasn't lost a point yet. This may be the first time in the game where he starts bleeding when Jake takes this flag in the east or west.
Yep. But it won't be too long because he does have a rear echelon that's coming up on that star.
He does.
So it will be a slight bleed, but I mean it's not gonna.
Yeah.
It's not gonna do too much.
And typically Tim's weakness is his Zerg. He just sits on one giant clump of units and lets them get mowed down, whereas now he's actually has a pretty decent spread. And he seems to be he's even harassing Jake's fuel, which is pretty good. If he's going to do the neutralize, and he's just going to run, which is good. I am surprised so far.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So we'll see. Jake's going to try and come back from this. Yep, he's got a MG squad coming up to deal with all this infantry problems he's having. He's going to put it in the church, likely.
Yep.
Keep control of the center.
Let's see.
Which is going to cause problems for Tim if he does not escalate soon. If he does not change tactics.
Yeah, he definitely needs to move up to lieutenant phase now.
Yeah.
I see that Tim definitely. Yeah, he tried to swipe that squad. I think which was really close.
Yep.
There's a Soviet running back and forth in the rear. He got stuck.
I saw that model.
So the model was just like running back and forth on that pile, and
yeah, that was pretty funny.
Cue Benny Hill music.
All right. Here's Jake taking control of the center. He's setting up.
Yep.
Tim's gonna have to alter his tactics.
Yeah. So Tim, I don't think Tim knows. Let me turn on Fog of War here. Yeah, Tim doesn't know about this MG yet. Doesn't know anything. Right now, he's kind of avoiding it.
Yeah. And his Zerg is starting to show a little bit. Well, I guess a little bit. He's just cutting deep into Jake's territory, which is, see, now he's going to get countered.
Yeah, but see, now he knows... He now knows that there is a MG. He doesn't know about the one in the church yet, but he does know that there's an MG in place.
Right.
So that will already affect him.
It does, and let's see where Tim's at base-wise. He now has his company command post available.
Yeah. So Tim did something I wasn't really expecting him to do, and he went for the captain. So what he could do here in this case is that he probably is going to go for a Stuart.
Yeah, he's going to go for early tanks for sure.
Yeah.
And,
that nice grenade.
Oh, he's going to lose a squad right now if he doesn't move.
Well,
that may have been too much. Oh, well.
Oh.
I'm surprised. Okay. Everybody wants.
Okay.
Not everybody.
Not everyone. He might get the shot. He might get it. Oh, he just barely escapes.
Wow.
But this machine gun could kill the rifleman.
That's true.
It
In
could
fact,
kill it. It might do it. Oh.
yeah.
Oh, yep. There was the
Wow.
wipe. Yep. Yep.
Interesting.
That was unfortunate.
That did cost him more than it cost Jake.
Yep.
And
And that was
now-
a double vetted. That was a double vetted squad. That's a pretty painful.
Yeah, I like how Tim has tried to maneuver back and around behind Jake, but that's not proving very fruitful at this point because A, Jake still has a connection right here, and B,
Right.
he's just, Jake's just going to go around him. He's just going to take flags around him.
Yeah.
Tim is taking the correct response. He's got a mortar coming up. He's still sitting on enough to build a Stuart tank, and he's not utilizing that. His resource is floating a little bit much.
Yeah, he's
Not
floating
terrible.
actually a lot on manpower.
Yeah.
He probably should have at least another rifleman squad for the one that he lost since it's so early.
Yeah,
How much is a Stuart? Actually, he could build a Stuart right now.
he could.
So I'm not exactly sure why he doesn't do that. The other thing I'm not agreeing with is that he is giving his riflemen, like, he has a rifleman with Zukas, and he really should be giving the bars, because all we've seen from Jake at this point is infantry, 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 infantry.
Yeah,
And that isn't going to really help if he's just going to give him Zukas.
yeah, pretty much. Ooh, I think he
That
got
was a
mined
nice
there.
mine. Yep, that was a mine.
And
that was a
enough.
mine.
That'll be enough to drive the lieutenant back, but not the rifles.
So there's a mortar crew now in danger.
Oh yeah, he's and very much in danger. If it doesn't retreat in the
Yep.
next 3 seconds, it's gone.
Yep.
And it's
Nope, too late. Yep.
That's going to be very painful. And Jake's going to take advantage of that. Yeah.
Yep,
At this point, we
definitely.
see Jake altered his tactics somewhat, and Tim is not changing his tactics. He's just okay. So the tank is in production now.
Yep. He's
But-
still floating a lot on manpower,
Yeah.
and I think this is where, like, the lieutenant would have been better to go with, because he has so much manpower. He could have
Yeah.
now he could have like an MG team to help counter the Soviets infantry.
And he's not familiar with the half track. The half track's the most powerful thing he has, and he has never used it, which I
Yeah.
think is going to kick him in the butt in just a second.
Yeah. So right now Jake has turned the tide.
He sure has.
But we'll see how far this tank goes. There is a guards infantry, and they do have the PTRS rifles, which is a light, can do well against it. It's not like an instant kill or whatever.
But it hurts.
Right. I will say that Jake doesn't have the anti-grenade package for the Soviets yet.
Yeah.
So that is going to probably catch Jake off guard initially, but then it's going to go back into the favor of Jake.
Yeah.
Jake is also at this point building his third
Building.
base building.
Yeah, so now we're going to be able to see Jake pump out like probably a T-70, or he might do a 76 because he might feel like his infantry is good enough, and you'll use the 76 against the Stuart. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, we will. It's yeah, Jake is exercising pretty decent map control. I see what Tim's trying to do. It looks like he's building a second Jackson. He's trying to go full on armor at this point.
It would be a Stuart, by the way.
Right, yeah.
Stuart.
But
Jackson. Jackson
Oh,
is
you're right. I'm
tier
sorry.
is the last tier. Yeah.
You're right, you're right.
I just want to make sure those at home understand the difference.
Yeah. Let's see if Tim gets the nade here. Doesn't look like he's going to get it, but it doesn't look like it's going to do much against these guards. The guards aren't going to do much against the rifles either. Yeah, I'm
Right.
surprised Tim has not... He's upgraded all his men with bazookas, which...
All right. So this is a slight change. So he did lock in his commander, which is the Heavy Cavalry Company, which is a staple of him. So that's
the
the
Pershing
Pershing and
tank,
stuff.
yeah.
But he also gets the Rangers, which have the ability to upgrade with the Thompsons, which are a very good counter against conscripts PPSHs. So.
Right.
All right.
Tim could still come back, but he needs to apply his armor force immediately if he's going to come back.
Correct.
And Jake is going to have to make a couple critical mistakes, which he might do, because he has to use this guard infantry. The guard's rifles have to be there for this to work.
All right, it looks like the T-70 is being pulled up.
Yep. He has to rearrange his guard's infantry in the center to make sure they are firing on tanks. They're reshuffling to go have a tank battle, looks like.
Oh, that captain needs to turn around and shoot those guards.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I did not see the Rangers. The Rangers might.
The Rangers are flanking.
Mm-hmm.
They threw a grenade. It's slightly off, but that's okay. Oh yeah, so the Rangers are definitely they are really heavy anti-infantry for sure.
Yeah, they are.
I will say that the 2 Stuarts is actually not a bad idea because the T-70 doesn't do well against like a Stuart tank. The Stuart tank will definitely win against the T-70.
Yeah, it sure does. Tim won the battle, but he's still going to have to exercise a lot of map.
Oh, I don't like this.
Oh,
oh no!
He auto-retreated, I think.
So
did he intend to do that?
No, he didn't. So he's doing a really aggressive repair, which I don't agree with. So just to let you know, the U.S. forces have the ability to take their vehicle crews out to repair their vehicles. It's really awesome. That means you don't have to worry so much about building, the extra engineers or whatever. But the problem is that he got them out and then he retreated them by accident, and I don't think he realizes that. So now there's this Stuart, this half-health Stuart that's just sitting there.
Yeah. I think Tim is focused right now on regaining territory in the west, which he will do, but I don't know if it may be. He hasn't made any move on his victory on the center, which I think is about to kill him right here. If he doesn't engage in the center, he's not going to go very far.
Oh no, and Jake has found the Stuart. Yep, and he took the Stuart.
Oh, he sure did.
Oh my gosh, that was such a critical error on
Tim's
part.
He just jacked his tank.
Yeah,
feels bad, man.
It does feel bad.
That
feels
hurts.
really bad.
I was having to watch it silence, so I'm kind of in the same room.
Oh yeah.
Because,
I can't believe. Oh, yep, there's the vehicle crew. It came back. It's way too late now.
Yep.
Oh, man. That's brutal. That may be game-changing unless he makes an immediate kill. Which he's going to try and do with his Rangers, but this is not a tactical move. Wow. Tim has made some map progress, but... Oh, and it looks like Jake's about to lose his squad.
Yep.
Tim is at least slowing down his bleed.
Yeah.
He's not going to commit.
Wow. No, he should have committed to that squad.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he's doing with the Stuart. I think he might be moving it up to...
He wants to kill his enemy, Stuart.
Oh, look out! Oh, bump!
He doesn't.
Oh, they didn't notice. Oh, but there we go.
What?
Oh, vision blocked and damaged.
What is happening?
All right, so the Stuart has the ability to block
Oh, you're right. It does. I thought that was the rifles doing that. No, it's not.
No. Now, the problem is that he shouldn't be using the Stuart in such a static. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad idea. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So he should have been microing the Stuart so that it could have been just constantly moving around the Su-85 because the the SU. I am getting terminology mixed up. The Su-76. The Su-76 has to stay in place in order to actually fire. So he could have just micro. Oh, there's another wipe. Tim is just getting really wiped. So
that may have been game right there when he lost that Stuart and then committed the other Stuart to killing it. That may
Yeah.
have been game.
I mean, he could have gone out with that Stewart without taking any damage because number one, he stunned the 76, and he could have microed around it, but instead he kind of just kept his Stewart in one place, and he also kept his Stewart with his rear armor facing the 76, which was not a smart move.
Yeah, it's gonna take a miracle and a big mistake on Jake's part to.
Yeah,
come
I
back from
think
this.
so. I think we all kind of agree at this point. I think Jake's going to win. Tim did really good at the very beginning. Like he had some really good map control, but I think what happened is that he just allowed too many squads to get wiped, and of course, the Stewart situation really threw him back. I think that was the nail in the coffin at that point.
Yeah.
Because I think he might have been able to over turtle Jake with the armor rush, which is what it looked like he was going to do, double Stewart rush.
Yeah,
And
the double Stewart definitely would have worked out.
Yeah, because he won that middle battle. He actually won that battle, but yeah, that was an expensive economy loss.
Yeah,
He just got a squad wipe on Jake.
He did, but that one ranger group needs to actually run away because it's getting surrounded.
But he's committing everything here. It looks like he's going to try and he's going to try and get some kills here.
Yeah, definitely.
Might get a grenade. Nice grenade.
Yep, the grenade
he might
went
get the
off.
wipe. He's going to get the wipe if they don't retreat.
He's gonna get it.
He needs to keep his infantry still too because he's getting a lot of. He keeps moving them around, which is not. All right, so now we see the
air support. That's going to seal the deal.
So this, he needs to run now. He needs to just retreat because, yep. And that rifleman might get out in time, maybe.
He just lost one ranger squad. He might lose.
Oh
another
yeah,
one.
he did.
Nope, the other one escapes.
I will say that he does have a lot of manpower and fuel. He could be refreshing a lot of his army. He's been sitting on. He's also floating a lot. He's floating too much.
Yeah, he just now fixed that. But Jake's actually floating quite a bit too right now, to be real.
Well, I can understand Jake's position because there's no reason to really increase anything. The thing that Jake can do right now is he could build the tier 4, but I think he kind of knows that he's set and he's good to go.
Yeah, I think Jake has exercised pretty decent map control at this point.
Yeah.
I think.
But yeah, I think if Tim hadn't screwed up with the Stewarts, like
that was
for the especially with that group retreating, and the thing is that he actually could have taken those rear echelons and put them inside the Stewart just to keep it, just to have it. He didn't have to actually use the original crew.
Yeah.
Because like you saw with Jake, he was able to use just engineers to take it.
Yeah.
I think if he wouldn't have lost those Stewarts, this game would have gone a lot longer.
Yeah, I think it would have been a very different game if he hadn't have captured Tim's tanks. That was brutal.
Yeah.
But that was, Tim had an amazing early game. He has the great early game rush. That's definitely his strength. But yeah, his economy could have lacked a little bit, and that was what killed him, I think. So that was still a great game.
Yeah, so it was still a very
better
good
than I
game
was
to watch. Yeah, he did well. It was just those little critical errors that I think really just messed him up big time.
Awesome. All right. Well, that will conclude our tournament with Jake versus Tim. Jake takes a point. We will return hopefully in the near future with Andrew versus Weston. So
yeah,
Weston
I think
gets to go up against Andrew.
Yeah, I think we are going to try to do next Friday. It does depend on Andrew's school stuff, but we will try next Friday for sure.
Absolutely. Cool. Any concluding thoughts, gentlemen? No. All right.
Yep, I think I'm good.
All right. Reborn Humanity. Peace and out.